sound of the sirens and the dogs of war remind us we are here. The legs of a rabbit never win the race where the lights of a truck are God. Hold on, hold on, hold on, here comes the lightning rod. Welcome to the land of the free. You will see the wounded shell of democracy to you and me. A place where the streets are paved with gold for all to see. Welcome to the land of the free, except for the likes of you and me. You and me. The diplomatic intervention in the case of the immigrants' detention was clear. Deportation of the alien invasion are the words to strike the fear. This country built from the bricks of multiple nations, blood and tears. Who are we now? Who are we now? Welcome to the land of the free. You will see the wounded shell of democracy to you and me. A place where the streets are paved with gold for all to see. Welcome to the land of the free, except for the likes of you and me. You and me. The policy decisions of the right-wing politicians make the answers seem so easy. You call them, and they will become them. And the question of color becomes the question of them. The statement may make me a communist or just another one of them. Welcome to the land of the free. You will see the wounded shell of democracy to you and me. A place where the streets are paved with gold for all to see. Welcome to the land of the free, except for the likes of you and me. You and me. Who are we now? Who are we now? Who are we now? Who are we now? Welcome to the land of the free. You will see the wounded shell of democracy to you and me. A place where the streets are paved with gold for all to see. Welcome to the land of the free, except for the likes of you and me.
That's the land of the free. Written and recorded by my third guest today. I've got to say, it's been busy. Paul Arida, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us and bringing your music. And we're going to play about 5 of your tracks, I think, today. But that's the first one, The Land of the Free.
Yes. A song written from the immigrant's point of view rather than the other way around, which the Daily Mail didn't like it much.
We were talking off air, and it's probably somewhat disliked by some of the Americans across the sea.
Well, I think
probably, to be honest, is that in equal numbers, and maybe disliked, but also liked by a lot, because I think a lot of people are aware that the immigration issue, not just in the States, but in the UK, although the States tend to think, because I called it the land of the free, that it's all about the States, but it's not. It's about Western countries.
Now, tell us a bit about Paul Arida. Where did it all start for you musically? How far back are we going?
We're going back quite a long time. I've been in bands all my life, basically, and the sort of late 70s, 80s. We had a band which was signed with a major. I think we only did one album, but it was quite good fun. But I kind of fell out with the whole idea of record companies and bands and egos and things like that, and I gave it up for something like 20 years. And then, as a songwriter, I used to write all the songs for the band. As a songwriter, I kind of picked up the guitar again. I thought, no, I really want to write some songs. And I thought to myself, well, I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to do it completely and utterly different. So I started hitting the guitar, because I felt that the acoustic or semi-acoustic can be so underused by just strumming it or picking at it. So I decided to smashing it up a bit. So I started hitting it, and I came up with this kind of hammer guitar thing. It took me about 6 months to develop it.
I'm trying to think how to describe it to the listeners, because I've saw you do this. I've seen you perform and do this, and the energy that you put into it. But it reminded me of somebody slapping a bass guitar and doing that. But your style is actually working up the neck of the guitar. It's away from the soundboard is normal, and working up the neck of the guitar. It's a very, very unique sound, I've got to say.
Well, if you ask me who the musician I most admire and composer, it's Beethoven. And essentially I just took it from him, because what he did was he started hammering down onto a piano. And I thought, well, why don't we use a fretboard and really, really hammer it? So after breaking a few guitars and trying it, and it's technically not complicated. There are many far better guitarists than me around. Physically, though, it's extremely difficult. And it took 6 months to finish the first song.
Yeah, I mean, again, the effort that you have to put in, the physical effort that you have to put into that style of playing. And I personally have never seen anybody do that before.
No, I think it's reasonably original. I mean, people do hit the guitar with their fingers, but I think I haven't seen anybody else do it the way that I do it myself.
It's a showstopper, if nothing else. It's certainly one that people turn their heads and go, wow, that's different.
Well, it took away the need for it meant that when I played solo, it sounded a bit more full. Not like a whole band, but a bit more full. So
yeah,
I mean, that was the whole idea about it. I didn't need a band then.
Yeah, you don't have to pay people.
Exactly.
Now, you write and record all your own stuff. Now, again, we had a little chat off air before that. You're not you're quite a unique man, I suppose, in your musical thoughts and stuff as well, because you're not influenced, I suppose I should say, by sort of stuff that you hear in the mainstream. You just write from the heart and from the head, I suppose. Well,
I write very. I've said this on my website. Subject-specific songs. I take a subject and write songs about them. I mean, that last song about reverse kind of immigration idea. Mm-hmm. I don't really listen to much music, because I find that the words are just fairly useless in most sort of words and songs. There's no substance, is what I mean. I'm not knocking that. Mm-hmm. I think that it's probably a symptom of pop music being blasted on every media, for the past 30 years.
Yeah.
Radio, TV, and everything else, where it becomes almost a background sound music, and therefore there doesn't have to be substance to a background sound. Mm-hmm. Whereas I want to write words which have substance, which mean things to people, and so it's it means you don't get signed and you usually don't get on radio. But hey,
well. You're on radio today. We're going to play another one of your songs. This is Warzone. Tell us a bit about this track.
Well, this is specifically about... Well, before I say exactly what it's about, that time when, there's so many relationships in the world that they bash lumps of each other all the time. Mm. I think we call it domestic abuse. Yep. And I thought I would write a song to try and understand how people who do that still live together and, still want each other. Because that's the difficult one, isn't it? Is that you think... Yep. If anybody's knocking lumps out of you, you'd leave right away. But a lot of people don't. And I wondered, I thought it would be good to analyse that. So this is called Warzone.
Analysed in music.
Yes.
I can see those puffy eyes that hide the smile that I know. It's funny how the cynical can make you feel so low and oblivious to the obvious. Go on, make it alright before it all goes down, down, down.
Hold me in your arms today. Tell me I'm wrong to stay.
Oh, it's a winding fact of life that comes around to smack us down. This city is so full of fools and crying, laughing clowns. I know